approximately half of all marriages now end in divorce. Some 24 million children in the United States, 1/3 of the total, do not live with their biological father. What these statistics don't tell is that the unique, skill-based approaches of healthy marriage and responsible fatherhood programs supported by the Office of Family Assistance are having a positive effect nationwide. The skills learned through these programs not only are making a difference in the lives of individuals, couples, children, and families, but also are helping to generate social, economic, and other benefits for communities across the country. Listen to their encouraging story.
The really reason I come into the Father Project because I want to see my little boy again. I don't see him for 5 years because I'm a bit let down. So I just trying to, see the way how I can see my little boy again. That's only I have in my mind when I'm a bit let down. So when I'm coming out, I just trying to looking for a group or somebody help me out with that because I don't know how to do it.
The relationship with my daughter's mother wasn't so great. We were together for about 9 months before she got pregnant and tried to stick it out. We tried moving out of state together and working things out just to get away from all the lifestyle that we were living here. And it didn't work. We wound up moving back to Minnesota. We wound up splitting up and got together with my son's mom. We had only known each other about 3 months, and she wound up pregnant with my son. We split up during her pregnancy so that we could better work on a friendship rather than trying to be parents raising a kid together that didn't really know each other as well. And now we've actually continued to get back together. I've been through the Father Project. We've started to work things out.
I find that this program is a great program for me personally because I didn't have a lot of communication skills. Whatever I felt, I dealt with, and I did, and dealt with the consequences later. Didn't think about my children, didn't think about my family, just myself.
The main barrier that a lot of fathers face is a sense of feeling not supported by the community, by various systems that they've been involved with and that have impacted their life. It can look like, in tangible ways, lack of employment, problems with child support, problems getting access to their children, but I think it really manifests itself in a sense of hopelessness for a lot of the fathers who do make their way through the door of the Father Project.
The rewards financially, I'm getting paid back hand over fist.
I came to the Father's Project because my situation isn't typical of most mothers. So when I would go to women's-based resource centers, I would find that I would be the only person that would be sort of like on this side of the fence. Typically, when I would go to the other places where it was mainly for women, for instance, child support, women would be looking to obtain child support from the fathers, whereas I would be trying to reduce mine or understand what it is and what exactly my obligations are and why. And I was finding that my questions weren't answered very well. It seemed like a lot of times the other centers weren't sure how to answer them. So that was the main reason why I came to the Father's Project. I kind of felt like I was almost like behind enemy lines or something, since like it's the Father's Project and I'm a mother. But the group was very supportive right from the beginning. We all understood we were in the same boat, so to speak, and that that we're all here to become the best parents we can. So I think right away everybody kind of warmed up to each other, and everybody seemed really eager to learn, which made it more comfortable, I guess. I am mother of 2 children. I am in recovery. I'm recovering from alcoholism and drug abuse. I asked the father to take the children while I worked 3 jobs and he didn't work, and bring them to his parents' house where it would be more stable. And that's when my alcoholism really took off. And the kids have been living with him while I've been getting help. And the father and I split up when I asked him to go move with his parents. And the last 3 years now, I've just been trying to get my life back together. And the reason why I pay child support and kind of have the typical father role is because I had asked him to sign up for medical assistance through the county, and the county is the one that signed me up for child support, I guess. With the Fathers Project, I'm hoping to obtain resources that I might not have found at other centers. I'm interested in education. I'm interested in understanding exactly my whole child support situation. I'm looking to understand what my rights are as well as his in regards to custody and parenting time, and if they offer housing. You know, I'm really, whatever I can do to better myself as a parent and to make my children the strongest people they can grow into, I'm for it.
So the scenario is, this is your weekend to have the kids. Okay? That's the first one. So this is your weekend to have the kids. Not only is this weekend to have the kids, the mother of your child also got a new boyfriend. And y'all relationship was, y'all communication was good until the new boyfriend showed up. Wow. Uh-oh. You've been trying to make peace with yourself in terms of this boyfriend, but you ain't trying to hear nothing he got to say. Okay? So we got this whole attitude going on. You go over, you knock on the door, and he answers the door, and you ask, can you see the mother of your child? He says no, and by the way, you won't be getting your child today.
Hold on, is it court ordered? Is it court ordered? I didn't know that. It is? Yep. Calling the police. We've already learned that one now.
Now, would that always been what you've done?
No.
Okay, well, let's talk about what you done.
That's what you would have done. It's been a very profound experience in 3 months' time. I'd say the first 4 weeks, all I could think of was, why am I going? Why am I going? They're not going to help me see my daughter. Why even go? That's the only reason you started going. And then when I started seeing that they had so many other things to offer with the job helping, I work part-time now, but they can help me find a full-time job with facing a felony on my record. They're helping me find other employment that'll accept people with felonies. And I mean, it's just, they've got so many opportunities here that if you take advantage of the opportunities that they're willing to hand you, there's just no reason that you can't succeed. As long as you follow through with what they ask of you, there's just no reason to not make it.
When they first come to the program, they do an intake, and so they're asked a series of questions, and if their issues, their concerns, their barriers match up to the services we meet or we provide, then that's where they're identified. It's during that first initial intake. We provide help with employment. We offer training through Goodwill Easter Seals. We help with child support. We have what we call a play and learn group. That's through a partnership with ECFE, which is Early Childhood Family Education. We've identified fathers who have kids between the ages of 0 through 5. And we encourage them to come to this play and learn group where they're meeting and working hands-on with a teacher. It's basically school readiness. We're teaching them the importance of playing with their kids, reading to their kids, being involved with their early education, getting them ready for kindergarten. We have another partnership with African American Family Services, and we provide one-on-one mental health counseling or couples counseling.
I think part of it is just the initial mindset that they have, because oftentimes when you're not successful in something and you can't speak to it because you haven't experienced success, you automatically perceive that you're unable to do. And I think with these guys, when they're unsuccessful in getting jobs because of their criminal background, then their mentality is, nobody will hire me because my background is of such that where nobody will take a chance on me. Well, we put them in position, number one, to change that thinking. change that mindset, change that attitude, then go through trainings. We have different trainings available for them: automotive skills training, we have construction skills training, we have retail, customer service training, we also have bank skills training. So we have training opportunities to put them in a better position to be able to be connected with employers that are willing to hire them based on the skill set they've recently developed, the training that they recently completed, and at the same time they're coming with a support system of a strong program like us that really banks on them to connect with this employer that we got a relationship with, to put them in a position to become gainfully employed at least a livable wage.
What are the audiences and what are those opportunities to get out there and start?
Oh yeah, I have a Father of the Year award. Yeah, that's 2010 Father of the Year. So I feel very proud about that. Even, some of my friends, they keep watching me over, what I'm doing. They send me some text messages to say, congratulations, I hear you Father of the Year. So I go like, wow, even I not realize they looking over me. So now, I bring a couple friends for the project. And I bring my brother to him. So he say, wow, you're doing different than what you doing in the past. Because, I always be in trouble. So now, I'm just like new person. I doing better communication with the mother and my son. We're doing better now. We're trying to, just put a thing away and just stand up for the kid. Be mom and dad, and trying to, follow, everything in the kid. Last week we have a court for the visitation, right, and all that. So yeah, she know I'm being involved in the Father Project and all that. So she feel very proud too. She told my kid, your dad doing very good now compared to what he doing in the past. So it's like we have two different men right here, one before and one after Father Project. So I feel very proud, and like I say, all my friends, right here in the program, they give me the support to grow up, like a man, and spiritual in every area of my life. So I feel very good.
Jonathan O'Brien, on this first day of March 2011, has successfully completed the Father Project Empowerment Group. Give him a hand.
Since I've joined the Father Project, and she's seen all the positive changes in my life.
You're welcome.
And how all I've been doing is going upwards, and all the positive things that I've been doing. We've actually since then gotten back together and are currently living together to raise our son together as more of a family unit, rather than you spend 40 hours a week with dad while I'm at work and spend the rest of the time with mom. And I actually have gotten to move in with my son because of all the positive changes that I've made, the stop selling drugs, the stop hustling the street and running around 24/7. It gave me a totally new outlook on life as to I don't have to make money illegally to have it. It might be harder to make it legally, but at least I feel like I earned it. And in the long run, it will benefit my kids that they see that I did this the right way. And that's all I can hope and pray for, is that my kids turn out that even if you make mistakes, you can still look upwards and you can still go forward in life, rather than just treading water and sitting there and feeling like I'm stuck doing this for the rest of my life because it's all I know. It's not true. As much as I thought it before I came here, it's not true. You can do anything with your life if you set the goals at an attainable reach, and you set your next goal at an attainable reach, and you just keep going forward and forward and forward. There's nothing that can stop you. There isn't a single person out there that can stop you from moving forward.
I thought dads were nobodies. I thought kids didn't need them. I just figured a kid needed a mom and that was it. Dads, they could just disappear.
I think the biggest change that's happening is that men see their role within the family changing.
One thing, I want my sons to say, my dad was a good man. I don't want my sons to leave this earth without saying, my dad was a good man, and I'm proud of my dad. I'm lucky to have him.
If we look back 30 or 40 years, if we would have asked fathers, what's the most important role that you have for your family? Men very often would have said, I'm the breadwinner. I'm there to bring in the money. And there's been a change over the last couple of generations, that men now see that their role is really as being a nurturer, a caregiver, as somebody there for their children. So as there's been this shift in the way that families think about the role of fathers, there has been a slower shift in the way that programs and government services are meeting those needs. So what we're trying to do is trying to help the government programs and the nonprofits to catch up with the change in perception that's taking place in families.
I've never felt safe my whole life. I never had a dad there to stand over me and say, hey son, I got this. You know, hey, I'll go get that, son. Come on, let's go fishing, son. You did good, just get out there and, you know, make that basket, run harder, swim harder, son. You know, wrestle that kid, son. You know, I never had that. I always stood alone, like I felt, you know, because I was the oldest male out of my brothers and sisters, and I always try to help them, you know. But I never had no one there to support me or help me but my mother.
The Father Project's mission is to help fathers, assist fathers in overcoming any barriers that may prevent them from connecting with their kids both economically and emotionally. We're a collaborative partnership of a number of different agencies and organizations that helps us focus on fathers in addressing those barriers that prevents them from connecting with their kids. Because the dads, they come with a multitude of issues, so we need a multitude of services, which means a multitude of partners that has a level of expertise to be able to provide those services to the men.
And I started meeting other dads, other Native American dads that were kind of going through the same thing with me, and I was so surprised that I wasn't the only one. Because when you're going through these, you think, well, other people don't understand. There ain't no one out there going through what I'm going through, you know, and ones that are, they don't care. But I started meeting them.
In order for dads to transition into becoming dads and being financially responsible as well as emotionally responsible, we had to address all the areas that prevented them from doing that. And so in order to get a job, we had to have a certain amount of skills. You had to have a certain level of education. You had to have a certain level of experience. And you had to understand what it meant to be a responsible dad. They also needed parent education. They also needed peer support. They also needed to be connected with other men like themselves to be able to develop that level of motivation and be amongst cohorts who can identify with their pain and their struggles of trying to be responsible men. And so the Father Project came about in 1999.
The parenting classes helped me a lot. I mean, I thought I was doing a pretty good job parenting, but sitting through those classes and meeting these other dads and listening to all the stuff they do and how they've done things, I was way off. I was so impatient, you know, and it also helped me learn to get along with my son's mom.
Fathers are one of the largest untapped resources that we have that can contribute to our community, the fabric of our society, that strengthens our families. He is the one that has a huge impact on not only the family but his community, but he has a huge impact on other fathers. And if he doesn't get the tools, if he doesn't get the education, if he doesn't get the support, if he doesn't get the community behind him, he ends up getting lost and he ends up becoming unproductive in a way that he wouldn't be if he was involved in efforts such as the Father Project and part of a fatherhood movement, but most importantly, establish himself as a leader to help those behind him.
I'm being the dad that I wish I would have had, you know, and it's helped me a lot.
Understanding how important dads are for kids is by far the most important message that we have here. That this isn't about what's good for dads, this is about what's good for kids. This is about what's good for the future. And I know that when we're helping dads to connect with their kids, we're doing so much for the future.
I just hope my sons realize how important they are in this world. And I just want to be happy.
Yeah, man. This goes out to the Father Project. A lot of people out there, you know, doing good things, man, helping, you know, other people change their lives, man. Y'all gotta recognize, man, the Father Project.
They can help you change your life at the Father Project. You can get your education at the Father Project. You can be a better dad at the Father Project. At the Father Project. At the Father Project. Learn how to build a family at the Father Project. Get a career and man up at the Father Project. Don't worry about felonies at the Father Project. At the Father Project.
The Father Project.
History of me, I grew up without a father. Dad didn't stop me to make it this further. Turned my life around like a brand new starter. Dropped from high school and went straight to Father's Project. Got my GED and my education straight. Focus on my music and now I'm having better days. Got my life on track and I stayed on this track. Couple years ago I used to walk around with a strap, paranoid attitude like if I was on steroid. Lost a couple friends and put my family through hell. I'm a changed man. Now I work, I don't sell, cause I realize I don't wanna spend my life in a cell doing the wrong and telling my child to stay strong. Daddy will come, but in the meanwhile stay calm, cause while I'm locked up I'm still writing new songs. I'm a white dove focused to break these walls.
They can help you change your life at the Father Project. You can get your education at the Father Project. You can be a better dad at the Father Project. At the Father Project. At the Father Project.
Learn how to build a family
at the Father Project.
Get a career and man up
at the Father Project.
Don't worry about felonies
at the Father Project. At the Father Project. The Father Project.
Encadenados hay muchos que se rinden, que la carrera es larga y que quería yo rendirme. Dime Father's Project, y eso es lo que hice. Saqué la libreta y empecé a estudiar. Rascándome la cabeza me empecé a pensar. Lo que yo escribía no era lírica, era matemática. Tenía que usar calculaciones básicas, improvisando en mi mente todos los días, practicar hasta que pase el examen. Y después voy para el estudio para que me graben. De quitarme en el micro hacer algo nuevo porque cuando canto yo no me quito. Father's Project, gracias por salvarme. Tengo mi educación y eso es lo mejor. Esto para darle motivación a la juventud y esto es high true. Father's Project, thank you.
They can help you change your life at the Father Project. You can get your education at the Father Project. You can be a better dad at the Father Project. At the Father Project. At the Father Project.
Learn how to build a family
at the Father Project.
Get a career and man up
at the Father Project.
Don't worry about felonies
at the Father Project. At the Father Project. The Father Project.
They can help you change your life
at the Father Project.
You can get your education
at the Father Project.
You can be a better dad
at the Father Project. At the Father Project. At the Father Project.
Learn how to build a family
at the Father Project.
Get a career and man up
at the Father Project.
Don't worry about felonies
at the Father Project. At the Father Project. The Father Project.
Alright, man. It's a shout out for everybody at the Father Project, man. Everybody here, you know, they deserve it, man. Real talk, you know. We're gonna start off with the big dog of the house, Mr. Guy Bowling. Alright? Miss Michelle, you know, Ira, Andrew, my man Willie, Richard, Patrice, you know. The list keeps going. Judy, Nicole, Kathy, David, Kyle. And we're gonna save the best for last. My girl Carmen Otero.